Hi, Andy. I'm Ariana. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Ariana.
What attracts you to having projects that have like a romance underline but are kind of set in bizarre situations, kind of like Palm Springs and the resort?
Um, I, I, 'cause I feel like that's kind of like what getting into a relationship feels or uh, like everything is just kind of larger than life when you're kind of falling in love. And So the stories that I know I'm like attracted to are things that where you can have a smaller love story set against the backdrop of something much larger than something much larger that's going on. And, the very simple example is like Titanic. You have or Romeo and Juliet, where there's warring families. I don't know. I feel like it's a way to heighten the stakes of something that is ultimately like very small and personal, like a little love story. So
Sure. And how was it like to shoot a crime drama in paradise, basically?
that's great. That's wonderful. I'm a fan of and we would kind of say like a sun-kissed noir kind of thing. Um, uh, I like I like daytime and brightness. And I feel like it's a nice contrast when you're playing with like a beautiful, serene paradise setting, and you're starting to like just look under the surface to see if it really is all paradise, and it might actually be all paradise, and there might not be um, murder or crime taking place, or there might be. It was kind of what a would I guess that to me is kind of the lean in factor, the playing with that contrast, I guess, of paradise and potential underbelly.
For sure. And the show has a lot of flashbacks to 2007. Why kind of that year in time? Why was that a period kind of picked?
I kind of feel like the 80s and 90s have been well traveled in recent shows, and um, the early 2000s are still like I think that's gonna I think we'll I don't think it's gonna be the first show. Other shows have already been kind of, and movies have been dabbling in that too, like Lady Bird and Pen 15, and I think this is just another one that is like looking at that era, the early 2000s, as a time like whereas we're the people. I graduated from college in 2008, and now I'm at a point in my life where like starting to look back at like my younger self, and that is that self that was like 2004 to 2008. And so why specifically 2007? It was always going to be like somewhere around 04 to 08 or so. Why 2007 is I kind of wanted like the last possible moment before iPhones kind of came out. And like I feel like iPhones, I think that they came out in 2007, but like I I didn't know anyone that had one until like I never even saw one until I think 2008 or nine, and then it wasn't like regular that everybody had one. But like so there's still like we're still in the slightly like just before the technological world shifted, and that I feel like 2007 was a nice point there.
For sure. And it's during a time that things are kind of digitized, but not really. There's so many holes and so many things that can be misinterpreted if you look back in that time. Was there a particular element of that time period that you wanted to make sure was clear within the show?
Um, like not necessarily, to be honest. It's more like uh yeah, I never wanted to be make it to call too much attention to it being 2007, I guess, like where it becomes almost like a parody of itself. I'd rather it just feel like kind of like lived in with like little references here and there. But Yeah, it because I think that a lot of this is like it's one could argue that I guess how Emma and Noah are almost remembering their version of 2007, as well. And I think that I'm trying to remember 2007, and it's like I don't know, my memory doesn't work that well. I remember all the little details in that. But that's where I do, I rest on like our incredible costume designer and our production designer and set deck to like, they do the deep dives and have like to make sure everything is looking like properly era specific. But to me, it's almost more about the feeling, like it's a feeling of the past and like the warmth of nostalgia that I wanted. Like that's the appeal of like the 2007 kind of thing.
For sure. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me, and congrats on this project. Talk to you soon.
So much. Thank you. Bye.